today marks a rare and significant convergence in American history. On the same day that the nation commemorated Martin Luther King Jr., a day dedicated to honoring the legacy of the civil rights icon, it also witnessed the inauguration of Donald Trump as the 47th President of the United States. This overlap has sparked a spectrum of emotions, from reflection to discontent, highlighting the nation's divisions and its ongoing journey toward justice and equality. To understand the weight of this day, we must revisit the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Born in 1929, King was a Baptist minister who became the face of the civil rights movement in the 1950s and 1960s. Dr. King's philosophy of nonviolence and civil disobedience led to landmark moments in American history, including the Montgomery bus boycott and the 1963 March on Washington, where he delivered his iconic "I Have a Dream" speech. His leadership paved the way for the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. King's dream of racial equality and justice made him a symbol of hope for marginalized communities, a legacy honored every year on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, established as a federal holiday in 1983. Juxtaposed against this is Donald Trump, a polarizing figure in American politics. Born in 1946, Trump built his career as a real estate mogul and reality TV star before entering politics. Trump's presidency, from 2017 to 2021, was marked by divisive rhetoric, contentious policies on immigration, race and climate change, and 2 impeachments. Despite this, his base of loyal supporters views him as a champion of conservative values and a disruptor of the political establishment. Now, as Trump begins his second term, he brings with him a reputation for controversy, making the timing of his inauguration on MLK Day all the more significant and, for many, unsettling. The coincidence of these 2 events has elicited mixed reactions from the public. For many, the timing feels deeply ironic, given Trump's history of divisive rhetoric and policies that have been criticized as undermining racial equality. Activists have expressed concern that the symbolism of MLK Day is at odds with Trump's presidency. Social media has been ablaze with debates, with hashtags like #MLK Day and #Inauguration Day trending simultaneously, reflecting the polarized views of Americans. Some see the overlap as disrespectful, while others argue it offers a chance to reflect on King's message of unity in the face of division. Amid the uproar, Bernice King, the youngest daughter of Dr. King, offers a perspective of reflection and hope. In an interview with MSNBC, she stated, "It's wonderful that this occurs on the King holiday, the inauguration, because it reminds us of King. It points us back to King. It says when we move forward, we've got to do it in the spirit of King." She called on Americans to embody her father's philosophy of nonviolence and strategic action, emphasizing that nonviolence is not just a posture, it's a mindset, a love-centered way of thinking, speaking, acting, and engaging. This overlap between MLK Day and Inauguration Day has occurred only twice before. In 1997 during President Bill Clinton's second inauguration, and in 2013 for President Barack Obama's second term. During Obama's inauguration, the event was seen as a tribute to King's legacy. Obama took his oath of office using a Bible that had belonged to Dr. King, symbolizing a connection between the progress of the civil rights movement and the nation's first black president. In contrast, Trump's inauguration on this day feels less harmonious, given his contentious relationship with civil rights leaders and communities of color. Civil rights leaders have expressed a sense of urgency as Trump begins his second term. Rallies and strategic discussions have been organized to address potential policy shifts under the Trump administration, particularly those that could affect marginalized communities. Activists are drawing parallels to the struggles of the 1960s, emphasizing the need for grassroots organizing and legislative resistance. This moment serves as a reminder of the work that remains to be done to achieve Dr. King's vision of equality and justice. As Trump embarks on his second term, he has outlined an ambitious and controversial agenda. His plans include reclassifying drug cartels as terrorist organizations, declaring a state of emergency at the US-Mexico border, and constructing an American Iron Dome missile defense system. These policies have been met with both praise from his supporters and criticism from his opponents who fear they may deepen divisions in the country. The question remains, can the nation reconcile these divisions and move forward in the spirit of King's dream? This unique overlap of MLK Day and Trump's inauguration forces the nation to reflect on its values and its direction. For some, it's a sobering reminder of the distance between King's dream and today's reality. For others, it's an opportunity to recommit to the principles of equality, justice, and nonviolence that King championed. During his inauguration speech, President Donald Trump emphasized his administration's commitment to fostering a society where opportunities are based on merit rather than race or color, a sentiment that resonates with many within marginalized communities.
All we say to America is be true to what you said on paper. If I lived in China or even Russia or any totalitarian country, maybe I could understand some of these illegal injunctions. Maybe I could understand the denial of certain basic First Amendment privileges because they haven't committed themselves to that over there. But somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right. And so just as I say we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now because I've been to the mountaintop. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
As we navigate this historic and contentious moment, let us remember Dr. King's words. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. The question is, how do we ensure it continues to bend in the right direction? Thank you for watching the Griot Chronicles. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more thought-provoking stories from history.